Mic check, 1, 2, mic check. Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Captain Crunchberry, Corn Dog. Welcome in, guys. Guys, we are in Rage right now, watching their pub warfare matches. If there's some space, come join in. It is pretty populated right now. Natty Eyes DVR is making a move on this Tiger. But the Tiger is actually finished off by Texan 102. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. We're actually streaming and watching over some warfare matches today compared to offensive. Warfare, for those who are not familiar, requires a little bit of balance between attack and defense. And right now, we are seeing that the Russians have pushed all the way up into Lumber Works. The last objective, Marshtown, has very little defenders, a little pressure at the moment, but not a whole lot. So the German side is going to be looking at trying to rally up and try and make a push to recapture Lumber Works. We have Distillery as middle objective, followed by Lumberyard and Overpass for the Russians right now. And you guys get to take down Pep God. Germans are falling in number. Right now, it looks like their forces are... they're not quite concentrated just yet. Thank you for sharing the live. And guys, and if you're watching, if you don't mind, please tap that screen for likes. Likes how we get views to the live. So, overlooking this map right now, what I would be doing as the German side is I would want to consolidate my forces right now. I want them to be on defense. I want them to get gathered around here. I want the Russians to be pushing out and stretching themselves thin. Doing so will enable my forces to try and come in. We got a decent flank garrison off to the eastern side of the map. Doing so will allow my forces to kind of come in from behind and force the Russians that are making a push to turn around and try and have to fight their way back to Lumber. Right now, the Russians are just really gathered around Lumber right now and having a lot of cap weight. So, and while the Germans, on the other hand, are just really kind of themselves are stretched out and stretched thin. So that's going to be the keys to success right now. However, no, wait, excuse me. Russians are on the north, the Germans are on the south. Just realized that. Sorry, still getting just reacquainted with positioning. I literally just jumped into this match, but either way, we have one side pushed all the way back to their final objective, while the Germans, meanwhile, have 4. In this Tiger, we have Walls, and we have Merle Watson, and this heavy tank for the other German armor that is additionally moving up. We have the solo man tank of Andrew 6969. Mrs. Pot Scraper, thank you for the follow. And we are on the Battle of Kharkov at the moment as well. Some Russians dropping some boxes, probably trying to get a forward attack garrison set. Hot Dog 7 has killed the crew of a AT gun. Russian supplies are falling to the north. Maybe hopefully set up an attack garrison. John Wild, thank you for the follow. And Pot Scraper, I'm glad to hear it. As of late, I am partnering up with several clans who own and rent servers to bring you guys some admin cam content to their pub lobbies. Tonight, Rage has offered to give me admin cam view for their pub in exchange for giving them some coverage. Vietnam is not out yet. Vietnam probably will not come out until the end of this year. And down goes the Russian outpost. Hazu takes out a Germany, takes out another. Is he gonna get a third? He does get a third. Oh, and MG engages a position. Is he gonna catch White making the push? White doesn't. You know, White gets him. So the Russian counterattack gets snuffed out in the center. For the moment, at least. Oh, we got JZ over here. JZ, I believe, hears some footsteps. Goes prone to hide. I believe. White Rizzler. Mayor of the garrison, I believe Jay is slowly creeping in. I wonder if he wounded him on that first shot. That is a very good, at least, comeback attempt. It is not a one-life server. It is warfare. Really? You're not going to let me out through the window? Fine, I'll come out through the door. This is a warfare server. No roleplay going on. These are just pub matches. JZ going back in for some more. Gets another kill. Yes and no, John. Sometimes you will get, or I mean, I wouldn't say roleplay servers, but there will be servers who try to change things up from time to time. For example, I believe Iron and 9AD like to kind of get a zombies mode sort of going. Let me get this. Let me make sure I got it off. There we go. I don't like that highlight. I mean, it's helpful, but it also just kind of breaks the realism for me. I'm gonna break away. Let's see what the enemy does. Coming up the side. JZ gets him. I'll clip that for him. All right, so we're going to go to the other side of the battlefield right now. The Russians are indeed just kind of spread out amongst this wood line. They are going to have to make a move because the Germans over here to the west are starting to gather their forces. So something about the warfare game mode that's a little different compared to the offensive game mode. We're gonna see what this peace strike does. I'm not sure what it's targeting. know what I was trying to target, but... Oh, we have an AT over here. Making a move. The dude. What is he armed with? He's got satchel charges, he's got rockets. He's gonna have to be careful because he is exposed on this hill. On TikTok Iron or on the purple platform? Oh! Andrew gets out and gets him with the SMG. See, there's a lot of tankers that gripe that a single anti-tank can take out a medium tank, but as you can see right there, the fact that they added an additional rocket requirement to take out a medium tank, it just extends the life of these tankers. Like, you can easily get out and mow down any AT that's shooting you in the back if you need to, as a TC armed with an SMG. So it's like, you know, if it requires 3 rockets and you still go down to it, you deserve to go down. You know, like, you can't just keep asking the game to handicap more for you in order to get there. However, we got the dude coming back for round 2. Oh no. Oh, he gets them both. GG's on that. The dude showing the world who he is. He gets shot for his efforts, but still gets the tank kill and 2 others. Johnny, thank you for the follow, and Jared, thank you for the rose. We were watching you earlier, just getting in there, cooking along that house. We have a recon tank hunting. Donkey and Booska, thank you for the follow. Oh no, do they know to shoot it in the back? You gotta get in the back. There you go, that's 1. Walls is now in the gunner. He's not gonna be able to turn in time. And that's why you do not want to solo heavy tanks, ladies and gentlemen. Iron, so, I mean, yes and no. So the road to 10K for getting to 10,000 followers is to kind of enable, I mean, there will be a few more things from TikTok enabled for me, but additionally, viewers will also now be able to, like, leave gifts on the videos that I post. So that's kind of what the push to like 10K follows is. Plus, I think I will be, like, officially recognized as, like, a part of the TikTok gaming community, for what it's worth. The Russians are actually making a strong push back for Lumberyard. As sort of called out earlier, like I mentioned, the defense, the Russians on their last point need to kind of draw the Germans out and get their personnel off the cap weight. So on the offensive game mode, in offensive, Lumberworks, this black circle, this is known as a strong point. On offensive, this is the capture point, right? In order, so you would need, so like the attackers need to get more bodies on the capture point in order to begin to capture the objective, while the defenders need to keep them out of it, basically, or at least maintain more bodies on the point than the attack. On Warfare, however, it's a little different. As you watch this Katyusha strike come in, I wonder if this Katyusha strike's gonna, oh yeah, that garrison is exposed. Let's see if it gets knocked out. Texan might even take it out if he notices it. He does. That's going to begin the cap. So on Warfare, the 4 squares around the objective. So we're looking at F3, F4, E3, and E4 is all capture weight. If you are outside the strong point, your capture weight is 1. If you're inside the strong point, the capture weight is 3. That's why sometimes when it becomes a race and only like a few blueberries go back, one person inside the strong point is going to count as three enemy blueberries outside of it. Yes, dog. New server. I have partnered up with Rage tonight in order to bring you guys some warfare action. Thanks to the invite of Jared for coming out here and inviting me to come stream some of the public gameplay. Shadow Pilot making some shots. Gets taken out. TPC Crimson also moves in. Verdugo gets taken out. Cap weight inside the strong point gets knocked out. But the garrison for the Russians on the north side also gets taken out. So we're looking at the remnants of this attempt by the TPC clan, I believe it's TPC Phoenix, to try and take back this point. They're going to be depending on their outpost. Actually, their outpost is even snuffed, so these are just the last. Oof. Green guys, I believe, takes out multiple, or Cardinal and Pumbaa gets shot at the same time. Oh, and then Legs also gets taken out by Green guy. Green guy cleans house. Let's go see what's going on in the west. Griff, thank you for the follow. And it can be, Tron. It requires a little bit more communication and coordination between sides. Being that in warfare mode, you got to balance attack and defense compared to just one side purely attacking and one side purely defending. These Germans MGs ripping it up. CDs laying some fire on Russians in the distance. I don't think Rizzler is going to be able to set up too well. He's going to have to get himself exposed if he's going to set up the MG properly. We'll watch his laser for a second. Buska, welcome in. Oh, the tank. Tank was focusing in on their position. Let's see if the tank fires another HE round. Oh, he does. Does not get CDs, but damn, that looked painful. Even though he only felt it for a second. Well, the CD is still pouring MG fire on these exposed Russians out here. Yoda and Sergeant Numbnuts. Dealing with a sniper as well does not make their job easy. Does he see him? He does. He's going to make the push if he doesn't get taken out by MG fire first. Question is, do they have an OP out here? They do not. So they will secure that hillside for the moment. Russian recon tank coming in, looking to do some damage. Or they can just go on a casual joyride. That gunner needs to be shooting. Oh no. Wall 9 makes it strike. Gets mowed down by MG fire though. Gunner looks left. He's going to start securing some kills. don't know what these guys are stuck. Oh, the game lagged their front tire into that environment. These guys are stuck. There you go. Start making that gun. Oh, wow. That is so unfortunate for that commander, but in all fairness, he had more than enough time to get the fuck out of there. There you go. Now that recon tank's starting to do some work. Russians have a supply drop going in. Or that supply drop's in the middle of a German push, so those supplies will not survive. Nodes are additionally down for the Russian side. That's going to make maneuvers incredibly difficult for the Russian side. We have an airhead going in. Interesting choice. Well, as I talked about before, in warfare, you got 4 squares of capture point, right? The 4 squares around the current unlocked objectives. So, strategically, like I said, I think this is a Russian airhead. It's hard to really tell the two. I won't know until the airhead itself lands. But, okay, it is a Russian airhead. So putting it, well, yes, it is covered there. It is strategically, it's not a bad, or at least tactically, it's not a bad spot. However, the Russians, as they spawn in, are going to need a run from there up to here towards lumber. Whereas if you maybe planted that airhead behind this little hut down here, I mean, like I said, being behind them is tactically sound. It's just that they're going to have to now run, and that's going to be manpower outside of the cap, while Germans are right now starting to push in. So it's going to be a bit of a gamble. We'll see if it pays off. We're going to fly through the battlefield real quick to see how it is shaping out. We got Major Payne on the hillside with his AT gun. Keebler on MG. Russians need to be careful. The Germans are starting to extend out, starting to encircle. It's what you want, however. As long as the Germans are outside cap weight, it's what you want. What blew up over here? Oh, just a regular truck. TPC Global is going to engage some distant targets. Doesn't seem like he's got a good view to land any hits. All right, let's check the fighting in on Lumberworks. Russians are making good progress. Satchel charge goes off. I think takes out a friendly. Verdugo silences a machine gunner. Still a spotter within lumber. Oh, gets taken out by Clune. Did the Germans ever restore a garrison up here? It doesn't look like it. There's no outpost out here. No, you're going to get the cycle, but the Russians have started the cap first. You're going to have those that still commit to the attack. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the mad dash of Germans try and come back. Worm gets taken out. Wall 9 on anti-tank is exposed. He gets taken out. So, stun check. They're basically talking about capture weight. I won't be able to see it per se from the admin cam view, but if you hold, if you're in first person, right, and you're actually on a capture point, you have to be either on whether it's offensive, you have to be in the strong point. If it's warfare, I believe you just have to be within the area. Uh-oh. Russians have it contested. They got to push into that strong point. They got to get bodies in to finish this cap. And they do. They finish the cap on Lumberworks, buying themselves some valuable time. Now, what the Russians have to do here is, before they even think about trying to get down and starting to press the attack on Distillery, they gotta secure this up. They gotta secure this area. The defenders, the Russians here, once you clean that out, then I would say start the attack. However, being in pubs, you're gonna have blueberries doing their own thing. As we can see over here, there is a garrison in play. Spawn wave. Wall 9 gets taken out. Dangerous spot. Or my penny gets taken out as well. The cap is actually on for Distillery, but also the counter cap is going on for Lumberworks, so you got to be really careful here. This is what I'm talking about when I say that you got to settle the objective. Right now, the thing that is holding the Distillery is a couple. You got Mike Squad, Shadow Pilot, and Wales as the support guy here on point, helping hold the cap. Oh, but Shadow gets taken out. Old Dutch on AT. Oh no. The recon tank gets stuck in the trench. Oh, but the AT guy gets taken out. The recon tank is fucked. Oh, an AP mine takes out JZ. Fortunately for the Russians, their offensive garrison does get taken out, which is going to allow them to make use of their one garrison that's up to try and get back and try to hold Lumberworks. When I've planned and commanded warfare matches, I've always asked my forces to stabilize the point. And what I talk about when I say stabilize the point is, I want my guys to go to the point that we just captured, and I want them to clear it out. I want them to secure the area. Because once you do that, then you can take an assessment of the battlefield, and you can figure out, hey, what is going on? Now, again, with these offshoot points, you got to be really careful about kind of being in useless sectors of cap weight. Now, whenever you see me playing warfare, you do see me going out on wide flanks, right? And understandably, I'm not really contributing to the cap, but when I'm operating like that, I am just one person. So I'm not really too much of a hindrance, and I'm putting my purpose in the destruction of tanks. I am planning 18 mines to hopefully destroy some supply trucks so they don't go out and set up garrisons themselves. So that's why when it comes to like more experienced guys, if you see them kind of just on random ass areas of the map, it's kind of playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, you know? So additionally, one of the key differences between warfare and offensive as well is warfare will ultimately end at an hour 30, no matter what. There is no overtime. And at an hour 30, whoever holds midpoint wins. Darren, thank you for the follow. And the Sensei. Oh, God damn it, why can I say it right now? Thank you for the follow as well. And yes, guys, Jared is a good rage point of contact. So if you are looking to join a competitive clan, message Jared, and he can hook you up and see if you are a fit for the Rage clan. iWaves, this is Rage server on console. It is not a comp match. It's just it is just public warfare. Hell yeah, Fubar. Jared, if you want to drop a message about joining Rage in the comments, I will go ahead and pin it for you. If you're not too busy at the moment. Fat Slow, thank you for liking the live. Quinter, welcome in. Sensei, there you go. I don't know, I had to think that through. Felt like that moment from Ted Lasso. So an IS-1 has shown up on the battlefield. Redbeard attempts to launch a rocket, but it does nothing. Rockets cannot pen the fronts of tanks, or heavy tanks. Sorry, I had to make that distinction. IS-1 takes out Lux. There's some 79th guys in here. The commander right now is 79 RG Buck. Satchel charge goes off. So a key thing to kind of also take account for is you need 2 minutes to capture an objective in warfare. So as long as you begin the cap before the 2-minute mark, even if you do it at the 3-minute mark, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, as long as you cap before the clock strikes 2 minutes and you finish the cap, you will have enough time to get it. If you do not start that cap on midpoint, by the time the 2-minute mark hits, it is GG. So right now, actually, the Germans are starting to cap back on lumberworks. A lot of enemies to the north, and they're actually starting to... well, one was flooding in, but he walked over an AP mine. Dino Cracks is laying a satchel charge. Gets murked by Sergeant Wood. So you do got to be still mindful of the defense of lumberworks, but right now, as you can see, for the defense, they all are starting to cave in and man Distillery, because Distillery is the victory objective. And right now, you are kind of doing the low-key dangerous thing where we saw the Germans overstretched trying to take Marshtown and lost lumberworks in turn. Now the Russians themselves are kind of getting outstretched, moving in on Distillery. So that's why you're seeing lumberworks being contested right now. Old Dutch anti-tank trying to pursue this IS-1. He is on rockets. He will be able to engine IS-1. He won't be able to finish it off. But if he puts the IS-1 in a disadvantaged position, that crew will go down. That is 2, and he did get the engine. He's going to put one more into the side, or back. Tomato, tomato. If I'm him, unless there is explosive ammo. Is there explosive ammo? Nope. Redeploy. That works too. See, is Wall9 going to finish the job? Nope. For whatever reason, rockets cannot pen the turrets of some heavy tanks. Yeah, you cannot pen from the front. There you go. Looks like Wall9's going to finish getting this kill. That's why you redeploy as fast as you can. Major Payne coming up. He might try to get some revenge. He was a little bit out of range to hear that outpost. Trades. Well, that's always kind of one of the things that kind of... I've been lately pretty vocal about the fact that Hell Let Loose needs to kind of buff the SMGs a little bit. Because to me, in this game, like, SMGs are supposed to be like the ultimate close quarters tool, you know? Like, anything within like 30 meters, let's say, SMGs should be winning if you're in a duel. So the amount of times that, you know, they nerfed the SMG damage a long time ago. Once upon a time, SMGs used to be adequately deadly. The problem is during that time, they made the SMGs really deadly at range. That was the main problem. I also have 79 RG out there, contract killer. Ooh, good hit. I believe they got 2 out of the 3 rockets into the body. The other one hit tracks. Yeah, I like the shotgun exactly, Tony. I mean, the damage drop-off is large with the shotgun, but yeah, of course, close quarters, the shotgun naturally dominates by pretty much one hit killing anybody there. Oh, the dude, OP spawn, gets 1, gets 2, and gets the OP. So right now, the Germans have a really decent defense going on. This is a decent garrison location to start your attack, but you need to get a garrison back up on those supplies over here. You probably need to get a garrison. Jig Squad needs to get a support guy to drop a box and get a garrison over there, in order so you can start making your attack on Distillery, because you are indeed running out of time. You got 13 minutes left. There's also Only one set of nodes has been restored for the Russian side as well. Jay Bush, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I find that the shotgun is as consistent as the ping and hit reg in any other time of the game. You know, like the way I always say the joke is like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the shotgun will be as deadly as we remember it. Oh, TPC Brad Pitt cleans. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and the weekends, it's gonna be 2 hits to kill at like 5 meters. Oh no! What is this Call of Duty timing? Oh, he turned at the wrong moment. TBC Pizza takes one out. Juke cleans up. The defense is holding strong. 12 minutes left in this match. House Squad looks to be joining Jig Squad on the attack. We got Pepe 9000 moving in. I think he's trying to eye something. Pepe is, I believe he's garrison hunting. Let's see if he pushes up to the house. I mean, honestly, I would have pushed around the house myself and cleaned out around there. Uh-oh. You're gonna get hit. I believe he gets the OP. Gets inside the house. Oh. MG Bushman, thank you for the follow. So he splash off the house. Oof. Well, I don't advocate utilizing rockets for anti-infantry work. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. The Russians do lose their OPs set around this house. 9 minutes left in the match. Wood reestablishes, but Pepe quickly takes it out. Comes in from behind, gets Wood. Oh, and then Texan finally takes him out. Wood's reign of being a menace is done. By the looks of things, the defense is largely just going to turtle on the midpoint objective, which is a smart call. Unfortunately for the Russians, with their strategic Katyusha strike, they're not going to really be able to utilize any sort of like bombing run airhead combo attempt in order to try and Stuka strike misses. Bombing run goes in on Lumberworks. Eileen? Eileen, and Jelly Magic, thank you for the follow. Eileen, are you console or PC? It also depends on where you are in the world. So typically you want to go into the enlist option because since the devs have changed the find a game functionality, they changed it so that it just kind of throws you into a random server that's open. That's from the enlist side of things. So you just want to go to enlist and just find a server that A is not completely full. And then B, at least has some open slots in the waiting queue if there is a lot of people in there. Fair plays on rockets. The supplies are down. I don't know why a squad leader has not built a garrison near this house yet. I mean, I know it's kind of a, obvious spot, but you just kind of got to get that pressure, and you're 7 minutes left now. And I don't know why, but I don't see a spa being utilized at all. This would actually be a really good situation for the SPA. Yeah, no worries. That's I used to, beforehand. It was I used to love going into the warfare and offensive option, and then the devs just kind of forced us into the selecting servers now. So I mean, that's just the evolution of Hell Let Loose in general. But RAP the pub lobby days of warfare and offensive. Long story short. And the Phoenix Collective, thank you for the follow. 79 RG gets a kill. How long is he gonna stay? Not long. Gets taken out by PFC Boy Band. Airhead plane has just gone overhead. Judging on the positioning, that is I think that it was an accidental airhead for the Russian side. Hell yeah, happy. Glad you guys are going to be keeping this server populated, because as long as this stream is as long as this server stays populated with players, I will stream tonight until I get too tired and need to go to bed. So long story short, ooh, there we go. The attack finally gets a garrison up. And Billy with a hoodie, thank you for the follow. 50 Shades of Grey, thank you for the follow. IS-1 is rolling up to the battlefield. This heavy tank just needs to be the boss right now. Lay some HE hate into these buildings. Oh no! Oh, that's gonna be unfortunate. They know it's there. The reload. The strike. Garrison on point is down for the Germans. However, Lumber was being contested briefly. That IS-1 has to stay on the move. just keep laying the hate. TPC Pizza Boy gets accidentally ran over by the IS-1. Oh, the gunner misses. Lux is simply a solo, so it's not going to be a huge change in cap weight after the IS-1 takes it out. Hits turret. Bayonet's daddy. 40 seconds. Lux down. IS-1 gunner needs to turn and address the threat on his right. Lumberworks is currently being capped. Oh, that was a German airhead. I don't know why it was initially white for me. So they have started the cap. They got to keep the cap going. However, they need to get defenders back to Lumber. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if they don't hold, if they don't finish the cap on Distillery, they lose. It is a cap race, though. Sorry, let me see if I can move this a little to the left, a little bit more. There we go. You can see the cap race on the top of the screen. Lumber is falling sooner than Distillery. They don't have the resources for launching a Katyusha strike. The huge waves comes back. Are they going to be in time? They need a rush and go. Distillery, contestant, Lumberworks contested. The cap on Distillery takes over. They're going to get it. Oh, no. Contested. Continued. It is net. Remember, you need 2 minutes to cap. Oh, that rocket may have changed the difference. That's time at the top. 40 seconds left. Matt, center point changes. The Russians will win. What a rally. Not enough time for the Germans to take back midpoint. Neck and neck. Good job to the Russian side for bringing that to the very end. GG's. Great finish to that round. The Russians at one point were down 4-1, and they inched their way back to getting the match, to taking the match home. Thank you guys. Thank you. Good job. Good show for the Russians there. I was not having a lot of having a lot of hope there for the Russian side, but good job capping that point in the final seconds. Jared, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but if you... I'm on Series X, Su... Or Sui... Or no, nah, it is Su. But yeah, I know I'm on Xbox Series X. And then, Jared, if you want to leave like a recruitment sort of link or something, like, hey, message me to join Rage, I'll pin your comment. In this economy, aren't we all? We're going to let these blueberries sort themselves out. Right now, we are looking at 40 on 40. So if you guys are looking to get in, now's the time. Remember, we are in the Rage server. Oh, it was. I will definitely post a video to TikTok. All right, enough infantry squads are sorted. Wait, I'm on cast, right? Yep. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and go to the wall as we wait for the match warm-up timer to go. But while we wait, we're going to go ahead and look at the objectives. So for the German side, you have flak position in the top left corner. Then you got western approach, followed by a midpoint of St. Mir Église. We have the cemetery, and then crossroads. So a fairly straightforward line of objectives, barring flak position at the end for the German side. So the typical strategy when you are looking at a warfare objective layout like this is that you're gonna expect essentially the offensive push garrisons for midpoint to be simultaneous defensive garrisons as well. So you're going to expect to see both sides to establish their respective blue zone garrisons somewhere in D5 and G5. That way, that's one of the closest areas that they can put a garrison in order to take advantage of the benefits of having a 15-meter lockout compared to a 100-meter lockout. And then you will see probably a triangle network garrison setup as defensive garrisons for their respective objectives of Western Approach and the Cemetery. Ayer, thank you for the follow, and Swamp Pack, thank you for the follow. Sanchez, thank you for the share. So once the wall falls in 10 seconds, we're going to see a mad dash of trucks going for the objective. We'll go ahead and just follow the Germans in for the moment. Oh, no, you don't wait. You don't want to wait. I agree, Brandon. Love this map. I'm going to just pin Jared's comment. So, Jared is a guy, if you want to join Rage, message him, and he will get you their Discord to get in. Trucks begin their dash for mid. And the American side looks to be getting to St. Mir Église Chapel first. So this is always the reason why I say that when it comes to warfare, you do not want to wait, because this is a dash to get into this black circle to get the cap weight going for your side. And if you wait and the enemy doesn't wait, they're not going to wait for you. They're not going to give you a chance to get out and get set up. They're gonna rocket your troop transport full of troops. Uh-oh. Moose is coming in for... Ooh, good. That satchel well potential. Unless he cleans house. Personally, I may have tried to get to this corner myself before placing the satchel charge, but to each their own. Keeping the satchel back there is going to possibly catch a few blueberries. I'll let Moose goes down. The Germans have taken the cap weight. Satchel charge goes off. Squiggly, thank you for the follow. Con 79 RG Contra Killer takes out a couple. Is he looking to ambush the Sherman? Does he know it's there? It is dangerous. Snacks. I'm not sure whose satchel that was. But cleans out the rest of the church. Looks like the Germans are going to be taking the church side for their faction. Contra Killer's got to be careful. Although this gunner is this solo tanker is very hesitant to lay the hay. Oof. Penny Bear drops a rocket, takes out a couple. All right, so let's go over the respective map layout. And actually, we have TPC Brad actually has flanked around as an anti-tank with a rocket, and he has taken out their garrison, their push-off garrison back here. As I mentioned earlier, both sides are respectively going to get a garrison up. As called around here, you can see all their spawns. I'm not sure if I actually see them with a garrison up. That is a lot of OPs, but the Germans did get a garrison up, and Brad Pitt over here takes the garrison out, and he's going to work on taking out these nodes. Meanwhile, let's go over to the cemetery to see what is going on. We got Matty Ice, TPC Puma, and Kipper Ripper already trying to move in on the south side of the cemetery. So right now, the Americans got to be careful because the cap weight for the cemetery is indeed on the south side. And only Macag over here, I mean, the Americans do have cap weight for cemetery up here. But if they're not careful, these guys are going to start the cap early. A few defenders are starting to make their way back, though, or a few Americans. We got Captain Crunchberry over here in the SPA. Ooh. Down goes medium Sherman. Yes and no, M18. It is a rented server, but it is not private. You do have to find this in the enlist option on console, and then you can join if you wish. Shaw, thank you for the follow. Junior, this is Rage. Maxime, there is a... I probably would have shown a garrison by now if they had him right now. And then XOTIXZ6, thank you for the follow. So as you see at the top of the screen, the cemetery has begun to be capped, but it is currently being held. The Americans, oof. Happy Rounded delivers a rocket to take out a couple, but I believe he gets headshotted in turn for his efforts. Or he may have just been disintegrated by a grenade. Griggs cleaning out a couple. These guys are not watching behind them. Griggs gets the OP. Greg just eat one close? I saw him flinch. Interesting. All right, so the cap is on for Cemetery. The German side's cleaned out the outpost that was northwest of Cemetery. The Americans have got to rally here in order to maintain the defense. Jared, thank you for the share. Right gets taken out by an MG. Mr. Cook takes one out. The defense looks to start the cap to looking to start to stabilize Cemetery, but they got to get way more numbers back there. The commander for the Germans right now, or excuse me, for the Americans is that boy Bruno. And honestly, as a commander, when playing Warfare, oh, see, that's not a great decision right there, because this objective right now is more or less overran by the Germans. You kind of want, well, for starters, if you're the command, you kind of want to be around the map in a supply truck. If you're trying to command a match, you never want to not be in a supply truck or having supplies available to start, you know, in order to start building some garrisons. That boy gets taken out. And the attack is now flooding into the Cemetery. I don't think the Americans are going to be able to do anything here. Klein, welcome in. Defenders are trying to make their way back. Honestly, if I'm the Americans, I'm just resetting. Ooh. Medium P4 takes out Stewart. It looks like the SPA was taken out earlier as well. Last objective, Cemetery has fallen. Last objective is Crossroads for the Allies. Tabisi is already starting to move in a little bit. You can hear the garrison's currently locked out. But when you round 6 corner, you should see it briefly unlock. Yep. It's actually a really good demonstration for how close you got to be to lock down a blue zone garrison. The Germans already starting to move in, though. '76 has shown up on point, delivers a blow to this medium P4. Shadow Pilot, Nappy, and Dark, or Dak Gear. Gonna finish it off. Now that was a weird non-pen. You guys cannot lose this. There you go. TPC Pumbaa. See, this is why wheat fields are a difficult thing. Gets the satchel on. They are not aware. Cruel. I would have just let that go, but I mean, to each their own. Down goes 76. All right, so as we look at Crossroads, the Germans have set up a forward attack garrison, and we take a look at their network. The network is really good for a warfare match. You still, if should the Americans be able to push out and take back Cemetery, you still have your garrisons available for St. Mary-Galise. Although it looks like there are a couple Americans pushing out and starting to flank and take a couple of the backline garrisons. But ultimately, this is what you're trying to look for: is you want your garrison set up so where you can around the 4 squares of the objectives, where you can react and defend as necessary. Meanwhile, you can see for the Americans, they only got 2 garrisons up right now, which is not a great number if you're looking to win. Typically, if you want to win matches, you need garrisons up. This is why if you go into like Facebook pages, if you go into anywhere, you will typically see people always bitching about needing to get garrisons set up. Honestly, this game's been out for quite some time, and it's hard for a reason. And I mean, it's not a fun duty, but at the same time, it is a necessary duty. Jerry, thank you for the follow. Yes, the sun will rise again. No Cope Puffs, thank you for the follow. I mean, as we saw with last match, yes, being down 4-1 is a tight spot, but it's not a spot that you can't come back from. And thank you for the follow. I would call that out, but I do not know how to pronounce it. Medium tank is moving very constructively. Bombing run going in. It's not gonna do too much damage though. It might get a couple. But something I kind of want to point out is that when you place these bombing runs, you guys can dictate the direction of the bombing run. Seeing that you got a push going on down here, I would have placed the start of the bombing run right on this hedge in this corner if I called in a recon plane first and foremost. And then I would have had to start there and go towards the crossroads. The reasoning behind that is because when you start a bombing run and you have it go towards the enemy, your forces can follow the bombs in. So as the bombing run is killing enemy forces, your forces are following it in and kind of busting open the gap. If you do it the other way, well, yes, you are taking out enemies with the bombing run. The fact that the bombs are going towards your forces means your forces have to wait for the last bomb to drop before you make your push out. All right, so as we saw Cemetery briefly being capped. However, there's just not a large force back there. I'm paying here, Tad. Yep, the German side stabilized the defensive Cemetery. Speed. It doesn't really matter. Because, damn, those medium tanks move fast these days. Oh, somebody, or that was either speed or it was lag. Oh, it doesn't matter. That medium tank was satcheled. What I was going to say is, damn, these tanks move fast compared to the old days. I kind of miss it. Stewart is moving in. Adam, thank you for the follow. Ooh, takes a hit on the backside. Lights only need 2 to go down. Ooh, just a little short. Oh. Oh, there it goes. I mean, it was silly initially. It was lag delivering that final blow. But, I mean, it worked briefly. A few rockets missed. Oof. AP Mine takes out that one. Let's follow Major Payne's laser for a moment. It is not comp, it is just pub lobbies. Those sneaky snakes in the wheat field. I don't know what happened there. I think we're just watching Hell Let Loose be Hell Let Loose. Hell Let Moose. Letting that STG sing, but gets taken out by Naka. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. If you guys are watching, if you don't mind, please just tap that screen for likes. Likes is all I ask for. Likes help drive views to this live. So Cemetery is actually temporarily being capped, but that is just mostly from cap weight on the outside. There's no defenders in the Cemetery area. Thus, there's just happens to be more Americans than Germans for the cap. Dark Command takes out Turbo. A new spawn wave comes in. Dante, welcome in. Corrupt, thank you for the "You're Awesome." Anthony, welcome in. I believe the commander has changed roles for the German side. However, he gets taken out by Major B Payne. I watched for supper, watching a P4 drive by, manned by Scrotum and Sir Clap. Ooh, satchel charge goes off. Takes out a few, but does not get the garrison. Oh, medium. Oh, no. What did he hit that fucked the shot? TPC Cardinal lays a hit on the medium Sherman. Asher, welcome in. Oh, but oh, TPC Cardinal saved. Blows are exchanged. AT hits turret. Oh, but the P4 hits, shoots track, and down goes the medium. For the German side, the Sherman is heavily damaged and goes down. The gunner not able to rip off another HE round. Trading deaths right now amongst the infantry. Benjamin, welcome in. Oh, it looks like the Germans are starting to sneak into the north of the objective on Crossroads. Just moving around, seeing who's still on the battlefield. Oh, they must have found a garrison there. Smart takedown. And Brad Pitt, I will say, I mean, it looks like he's taking a page out of the book of LtYakko for hunting garrisons. So good on him. He's playing like that is what you want your AT doing. Benjamin, thank you for the follow and thank you for the likes. JZ goes down. Americans have to be careful, though. The Germans are pressing in on their final objective to the north. It is not a heavy push, but they are losing people on the defense. You have to win your gun battles at the end of the day. Even if you can have all the garrisons in the world, you can have the most communicative commander, everybody being engaged. But if you don't win your gun battles, there's nothing left that you can do. Medium Sherman in HQ gets called out. Happy rounded. I believe he got spotted. He's moving in. Try to engage. Taylor Evans, welcome in. Oh, one anti-tank delivers a blow. Or at least misses. Actually, no, he did land a hit. Happy fires. Lands one. Two. Unfortunately, ooh, smart move by one of the anti-tanks there. I don't know if Happy's got another rocket in him. I don't think he does. I don't think he has another rocket, but TPC Cardinal, oh, Happy did have another rocket on him. He finishes taking out the medium tank. I am gonna just comment on that from kind of a, just from an advanced Hell Let Loose IQ sort of perspective. So Happy started hitting that medium, which was a good move, but that medium was actually standing next to this repair station here. TPC Cardinal understood that, and he rocketed the repair station, which allowed Happy to finish the job. 200 level IQ play right there. Good stuff. It is Rage. What's going on, baby fingers? Fender Jack, welcome in. We are watching Warfare matches. Gets a kill, takes out a couple more. Yeah, this other side, if you guys are joining in this, I mean, they're going to be the Germans next match, but the German side definitely needs some shooters, because it's just not going well for them. And Babyfingers, thank you for the heart me. You're enjoying those melee clips I'm capping for you, Babyfingers? Ooh, Karma takes out Happy. I will say, I mean, as long as Buckgum allows me to have Admin Cam, so, I mean, Admin Cam has been doing really well for me on lives. So, I mean, as long as Buckgum allows me to have Admin Cam permissions in for the 24/7 server, I mean, I'm going to keep bringing in these kind of skyline views of the fighting. Well, yeah, I feel like well, there's just not too many there's just not too many of the ooh. Damn good rocket. That was painful. There's just not too many. Well, granted, I don't know all of the streamers and commentators for Hell Let Loose, but I don't think there's many of them that are level 500 and has played this game as long as I have. Oof. Lieutenant Kill takes him out. TPC and Texan back here being little sneaky menaces. Stewart moving out. Who's in this Stewie? JG Doty. He is already hurt though. '79 contract killer yeets a rocket. Let's see if he gets another. Accurate strike, but doesn't get anything. Puma is taken out to the south, and looks like a half track taken out by TPC Cardinal. That noise is a flare. Alright, so the Americans are finally starting to get a flank going up on the cemetery. TPC Swanee and Burnt Pickle reacting. Not Burnt Pickle, excuse me. This is Stefano, welcome in. Oof. FX Funny gets one, but gets taken out in turn. Commander's trying to make a push. I mean, I'm not opposed to commanders getting into the ground fighting if they know what they're doing. But it's going around and getting kills. It's just not something the commander's main priority should be. You know, to me, I've always viewed the commander role. Oof. Not sure who landed that initial rocket on the Puma, but as I was saying, I've always viewed the commander role as one of the most important roles in Hell Let Loose, and as having that important role, like you need to have pride in the fact that it is on you to put your army into the best position possible to succeed. You are the commander. You're not frontline infantry. I believe this Texan finishing off this Puma. Indeed he does. But as I was saying, the commander's not frontline infantry. Right now, if you're the commander, you got to be in this map, and you got to be figuring out, hey, like, how can I put my guys into the best position to not just defend on crossroads, but how to get back into the cemetery. Now, personally, if I was the commander for the Allies in this situation, yes, I am flanking from one side with a garrison, but I'm going to be trying to utilize an airhead to come from the other direction as well. I'm putting the airhead not directly on the objective, but I'm putting it far enough out to where when my guys spawn in, they're not going to be, you know, useless trying to run for like 350 meters to try and get into the capway of the cemetery. I'm putting it so that when they spawn in and they start running in, they can be immediately effective. Well, Alfonso, so the kind of content that I'm bringing right now, don't get me wrong, I do a lot of general gameplay. I'm probably one of the top anti-tankers in Hell Let Loose console, and honestly, I'm being a level 500. I got over 5,000 hours in this game, and I just got a lot of experience in doing everything from commander to squad leader to just, you know, being engineer to anti-tank. And I've seen all phases of Hell Let Loose. Like back when I first started, you only had like 4 of the maps that you have now. There used to be giant potholes on Omaha Beach, and you would drive past the same power line, like power line post, like 6 or 7 times before you finally advanced. And that was specifically when the server got over 80 people. Like anytime when the server was under 80, it ran amazingly. The second it got over 80, it was just rubber banding trash. Eric, thank you for the follow, and Mustache, thank you for the follow. Ugh, Puma. Alright, so looking at things on how they are developing, the Allies are starting to make a good counter push. They got enough bodies back here to defend. Oh, what's going on over here? Wasn't that a 76? Oh no, that was just a medium. Still. Oh, do we have a satchel charge on? Hastings does have a shoddy. Oh, yep, we do. It's on the side. This P4 will do a little bit more damage before the kaboom, unless Hastings put on a longer satchel charge by accident. Should be occurring any second. There we go. Kaboom. Oh. Contract killer may have just knocked out the garrison on point for the defense and the Allies. Also, the other thing about Warfare is, ironically, it can be a game mode where one squad just makes all the difference. There's been times when, especially during my days with Berserk, MF Crook gonna finish this Puma. There would be days during my time with Berserk where we would play a lot of Warfare matches because Warfare is the game mode of preference for competitive play, and so we would often just be into like Warfare and offensive modes before the enlist option was a thing, and there would be matches where, you know, we would be the only squad on point. We wouldn't have mid, and our fellow, or like our teammates would just be, everybody would be attacking, you know, midpoint, or we'd be down 4-1 and they're trying to recap our second point, and they just wouldn't be able to do it, despite the fact that we as one squad were sitting there and, you know, defending our point. It's like, you know, you couldn't ask for any more manpower to really go to the attack. And then so finally we would just, you know, get some of the squads, you know what, just get back there and defend. Like, leave this to us. And then they finally do it when we get to the objective, and when we just take the objective like that, you know. It would just be almost immediate, and ooh, TPC Cardinal finishes off that Puma. I believe his combat score ought to be considered eating right now. NG Bushman, thank you for the share. And yes, I agree, Mustache. I hate getting satcheled as well. I will say, if you go through my old videos, I am definitely a master of satchels, however, so I'm very good at it, and I know how to try to avoid it. That's why it always kind of surprises me if somebody pulls off a move that I typically like to do, and I end up getting satcheled, and I'm just like, whoa, all right, well played. You must have been watching my videos. Or at least seen a clip of my videos. Cardinal really is. Paladin fires. I could have sworn Fubar was going to be getting on, but I have not seen him in this match as of yet. He will take smarter routes in, but... Ooh, good rocket by Doc Can't Kill. Something just vibrated by me for some whatever reason. Oh yeah, done here. Oh, bombing run comes in. Now it's gonna get one? Yeah, it only got one. So I wouldn't be too happy with that kill count. Might have gotten the, no, he just barely missed the garrison. Not Burnt Pickle, takes down Rabbit. Star Command. Ah. Does really good. Gets taken out, but a couple fall in turn. Does he hear the garrison, though? That's the question. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Gets shot in the back. Oh, but a tank takes out a garrison. Where did that shot come from? All right. The Allies are getting good pressure in on the cemetery. However, the Germans do still have a lot of the cap space there, so the Allies are gonna have to fight south and and ultimately eliminate the Germans off of the cap weight if they're gonna finally take this objective. Yeah, the point being contested. Takes out Bear, Bean. Oh, this is awkward. Happy hears his gun. He doesn't know it. He doesn't know it though. There he goes. Happy figures it out. That was a good spot, but I watched for Supper's headphones. Failed him there. The Germans begin to stabilize the cemetery. least Swanee just takes out a truck. But the defense rallying to hold the cemetery goes to show why having these secondary garrisons is vital for having a defense for the cemetery. Having a garrison either on the strong point or very close to it is definitely important, but it's also important to keep up at least one extra. I mean, being that the garrisons have a 200-meter radius to where you have to place them, spread them out from one another, it's just key. Jay Goody takes out Dan's legs. Trying to get an idea of who's spread out right now. Defense moving in and make sure they maintain. Follow motherfucking crook right now. Oh. Was doing good, but gets taken out. I believe he also took out the garrison that was on point again. He did. Going to renew the cap pressure for the Allies. So in Hell Let Loose, aggression is key for warfare and offensive attack, and even a little bit for defense as well. Because if you know where the enemy is going to be having a garrison or where the enemy is coming from, you need to be aggressive to get out there in order to eliminate that spawn point, because time is low-key everything in this game. In offensive, I mean, the attack has 30 minutes to capture an objective, so every minute that they waste trying to get set up is a minute advantage for the defense. And then when it comes to offensive, you need warfare, you need 2 minutes to capture an objective. So it's good if you are disadvantaged at the moment. It is perfectly fine to, kind of reset and get restabilized and enact a plan. Otherwise, you might just get steamrolled if you don't. I mean, you got an hour and a half to win the game, but you can't win the game if you lose your 5th objective. So Cemetery finally changes hands. The Americans work their way back in and recap the point. I suspect a little bit of holding back from the German side, however, in order to avoid steamrolling. Shadow, Happy, and Dak in the Sherman moving out. Oh man, that Sherman's beating up. You just gotta take that shot, brother. Oh, but Swanee takes it out. So, as I talked about at the previous match, you're going to want to make sure if you capture an objective, you're going to want to make sure to stabilize it. And by what I mean by stabilize, again, is to make sure that you've thrown the enemies off the objective and you know, before you start your attack onto the next objective. Have your defenders in place, make sure there's no squad leads setting up OPs behind your objective, and then if they do that, I mean, they subsequently can get a sneak garrison up. But as it currently stands right now, the Allies are starting to pour in from the garrisons that they utilized to flank Cemetery. Which it looks like they're about to lose one now. I'll let Moose into Heapsy. Ooh, damn. Panda fires off a couple shots from his shotgun and drops both. Happy round until too little too late, but let's see if he gets the revenge. Oh, satchel charge. Takes it out. Happy he's gonna nail this supply truck. Gets the driver with that rocket. Down goes the supply truck. Alright, so right now the Allies are getting cap pressure on midpoint on St. Miraglise. This weight inside the chapel is providing the difference. Ooh, Snacks just wiped out several. This MG is also ripping into that entryway. There is Fubar. Oh, Fubar drops Happy. Drops the MG in turn. Fubar just smoking it. Now we'll take that. We'll clip that for him. That nice little 4-kill run. Uh-oh. Happy just had his OP taken out. Ooh, takes out the dude. Oh, but goes down to a grenade, probably by Fubar. Ooh, Texan drops one. The Allies are starting to swarm in now. The Germans may have gotten a little lackadaisical on the defense. They are starting to lose several. Spawn wave comes in from behind. Was this off of a garrison? It indeed was. So being that it is blue zone for them, that it will not get locked out at a longer range. I believe the Americans just pushed out a little far. They probably would have began this cap had they stayed in the church. But right now the Germans have just taken the church back over and holds the defense. Let's go take a look at the cemetery right now. You do have defenders on point holding the cemetery. Germans begin to soft pressure from the northwest. Oh, a 76 is moving in. Swanee's moving to engage. 76 is called out. However, Swanee does not know there's a threat behind him. It is an unfortunate non-pen. Where did that land? Can't tell. Oh, but Swanee does get shot in the back. Oh, that 76 is stuck. That is not a good spot to get stuck. Meliconi, I am in this view because I have admin cam. Happy rounded. He wants a piece of the 76. Launches one. He doesn't know Hastings there. Hastings gets the kill. However, the 76 does take a successful pen shot from Happy. Oh, Silver Spaniard avenges Happy. Americans get back into the center, into the strong point of St. Mary-Église. As we look at the map, this is what I'm talking about when having bodies inside of the strong point matters more than being on the outside. The outside still counts, but as you can see, I mean, if those bodies weren't there, they would never be capturing. So now this defense has to get back to the point. The commander does drop a reinforce, which helps, which doubles the presence of the side that is there for. So, but it is only used on your own friendly territory. So, for example, reinforce only helps the defenders hold a point. It does not help an attacking force attack a point. Medic revenges, picks up TPC Crimson. Reinforce is helping the Germans get back into the church, regaining the cap pressure on the strong point. The job's not done though. There is 27 minutes left. As we saw last match, you only need 2 to capture an objective. So right now, if I was the Allies, I would be just looking to ensure I have a stable front, a stable push. I would make sure that cemetery has plenty of garrisons around it, and then I would start trying to find alternate ways in to push into St. Mary-Église. Now, something I want to kind of talk about in terms of like my own personal strategy and my own personal approach to warfare matches. So as I called out at the start, both sides would be looking to get a garrison up for making their push onto St. Mary-Église. We saw the pressure up here in G5, and then we saw the pressure over here in D5 for the Germans. So if I'm playing anti-tank, basically what I'm looking to do is, and the reason why you see me flank out so often is because if I flank out, I am going to be going over here or in these 2 respective spots, and I'm going to be looking for that garrison, especially if I don't have, especially if we don't have this mid cap yet. Is it boring? Is it not action-packed? Absolutely. It is not for everybody, but I like it because it's requiring me to think. I'm thinking about, hey, where would this opposing team set their garrison in order to attack St. Mary-Église? And oftentimes when I think about that, that's how I figure out, okay, I got to go here to find this garrison. If I take it out, and then if we unlock this territory and we're starting to attack back, if we take out their garrison on point, or if another person takes out their on-point garrison, that's going to leave all this space and allow for my team to start recapping. And I will say that there has been several matches where I've gone beyond the lines of battle to find these garrisons, in which allows my team to, you know, because a garrison out here not only acts as a push-off to attack mid, but it also operates as an emergency secondary garrison. And if you don't take that out, right, and let's just say you do cap mid. If you do take that out, or if you don't take that out and you do cap mid, that enemy team is going to be spawning here and recharging back into middle, in which your guys may not be ready for. The Americans might be getting this cap. All the Germans are holding. I wish I could see what the chevrons are, but the game does not let me from admin cam, dude. Bombing run going in. Ooh, I don't know. Hard to know if that was an offensive or a defensive bombing run since it went through the point. 79 contract killer might be finishing off the 76. Oh, never mind. It was already satcheled. The secondary garrison that the Germans have set up is making all the difference for holding mid-cap. The Allies, I believe, lost their push-off garrison. Yes, they did lose their initial attack garrison, so they're now being forced to flank. If I am the Allies, I'm probably dropping an airhead to the south, try and give my guys a different approach into St. Miraglise. Oh, recon planes going in for the German side. Could be a bombing run ready to follow. Let's see what they do. Oh. 1 for 1. Greeny goes down, but takes out TPC Cowboy. Again, as commander, you just do not want to beat. See, and I will say, despite the fact that I'm given a lot of these pointers, especially, or maybe critiques, I guess you can say, for commanding, I mean, I don't do it a lot anymore myself. There was once upon a time from like levels, I want to say 100 to 300, where I commanded a lot. I commanded a hell of a lot. And unfortunately, commander is a thankless job. that you know, even the really good ones just do not get the accolades that they deserve. And unfortunately, in my time, I've gotten a lot more matches where I've gotten like zero help whatsoever, despite me asking for it many times. Garner takes out Sergeant Fox. And finally, just all those matches just kind of, you know, accrue crude enough to where I was just like, you know, I can't do command anymore. I will do it on occasion. Oh. Garner gets fortunate, but deadly Archer with a pistol headshot. But oftentimes, like, the main reason why you see me run anti-tank so much is because it's my way of influencing the battlefield while not being a commander. You know, I don't have to deal with the headaches of nobody building me nodes, nobody, you know, defending. Even though I have supplies in a certain area, nobody building the garrison, despite it makes sense to build the garrison. It can just get up there. So we saw briefly cemetery being capped or being contested. It's still being contested now. The attacker goes down. If the Americans want a chance to win, they need to reestablish their blue zone garrison. The Germans on the backside have gotten a flank garrison up, but right now the cap race is on. The Allies do have started it with the cap weight. However, a lot of secondary garrisons still remain for the Germans. Minutes left in this match. Uh-oh. The German flank garrison, the forces are starting to arrive. The lack of defense. The Allies, ultimately, they just do not have enough garrisons up. And nobody's rushing to reestablish them. The Germans, on the other hand, have many garrisons up, and ultimately, that's what's going to win this day. If it keeps going the way it is, this should win the day for the Germans. It's just the Americans are indeed trying to, you know, they're pressing where they can, but right now they don't have the cap race. The loss on cemetery is well over halfway now. The guys back here are going to have to win the gun battles. And right now, oh, that was a good rocket. That rocket may actually be it may be the thing that actually changes the one thing that changes the momentum of battle. But we will see if the Germans get a big spawn wave off on one of their secondaries. Reinforce may also come into play as well. The cap is almost done. Saint-Mère-Église. Saint-Mère-Église finally falls. But the Germans got that squad lead that went out here and built this garrison incredibly smart. Because now you got your defense going, and anybody else who dies, and since the spawns are not out here, anybody who dies is going to be spawning back there, and you're going to have your push going back in. But meanwhile, the defense does maintain their one sole garrison. Allied half-track moving out. TBC Bread Pit holding his ground, trying to apply some pressure. Caden, thank you for the follow. And Jared, thank you for the rose. Texan waits in ambush. Sergeant Fox takes out TPC. Gets taken out by legs in turn. Oh, that was close. All right, 13 minutes remaining in the match. The Germans are making their front door push. But so are the Allies. Let's follow Fubar again for the moment. Oh, actually, where's this bombing run going? Oh, this is a bombing run being placed by the Allies. Ooh, takes out some friendlies. Oh, barely misses the garrison. Anubis, welcome in. Page opens fire. Doesn't get anybody. Germans moving in along the flank. We'll say the second the German, unless the Allies get some more garrisons established, the second the Germans cap, if the Germans are able to push back in and cap, it's going to be just devastating. It's going to be a devastating reset. The Germans are starting to get bodies into the strong point. I believe this is an airhead going in, a supply drop going in. What else? I don't see much else. Germans are indeed pushing into the strong point, however, and into the cap area. Hastings takes out one, takes out two. Midpoint is under contention right now. Oh, Swanee gets taken out by a Tommy gun. Oh, an American half-track back here. Provides a much-needed spawn wave. It is not a lot, but it is enough. Ooh, Juicy Wussy coming in, cleaning out the chapel. Snuffs out the outpost inside. If I am breedable, I would be dropping a, it looks like he has an STG. I'd be dropping a satchel charge right now. Croak's not going to make the same mistake as the others. Let me in. I am in admin cam. I do not want to go all the way around the chapel to get in and watch the stairway. I'll let Moose. Ooh, takes out Juicy Woosey. The cap is back on. Oh, a German half-track's going into play, and is actually being pursued by the American half-track. Is that an extra half-track? It is. I was going to say, it's a very bad move if they move that other half-track. That might be their only lifeline. Oh, it is. It is Commander on Commander. Get out of the way. Climb into their half. Oh no, he runs over the other commander. Oh, but a rocket comes in and takes out the other half track. Oh, the commander did turn on the engine. Spawn wave comes in off of a garrison to the south. Is it gonna be enough? Oh, is anybody gonna notice this half track here? That's the question. As a reminder, half-tracks are a 60-second spawn. Half-tracks will not lose their spawn when this changes hands. And the Germans take back St. Mary Église on the mid-cap. Large spawn waves come in off of the garrison right on before the garrison is lost. Those guys are locked in, but additionally, a large spawn wave come. Oh. Well, that was a Stewart. Oh, that half-track's location is revealed. But the cap is back on for Cemetery. Is there a backup garrison back here for the defender? Oh, there is. The defense, the Allies smartly reestablishes a garrison so they can maintain the Cemetery. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side, these armor. If you're the Allies, that armor, you gotta make a move. Oh, that bombing run just barely misses. It's going to allow Cemetery to stay in the hands of the Allies to hopefully re-allow them to come back in and make the attack. Is that half-track still up? Does not look like it. Puma moving around. I am confused about what went on there. Recon tank smartly retreats. Oh no. AT gets. I might have taken the kill there if I was just at AT, even if it would have damaged me. This is Rage. This is the Rage server. Tonight's stream is brought to you by them. Yeah, offensive garrison got reestablished for the Allies. Ooh, Sapper tried to get in there, but Deadly Archer takes him out. We are 20 seconds from the 4-minute mark. This armor has got to start making a move. Cemetery is being contested right now. If you look at the bar towards the top. All right, 4 minutes left. You got a 2-minute warning right now. If the Allies do not make a move and start the cap on St. Mirror Glebe within 2 minutes. Oh, no, that wasn't a satchel charge on them. What was this? Where did these guys come off of down here? Oh. Okay, the Allies did get a flank garrison up. But that armor's got to push. If the armor doesn't push, start just laying hate, they're not going to stand a chance at the recap. The Allies are getting desperate. Bano's dad breaks out the flamethrower, gets taken out. 1 minute warning. Now, as I've got to make a play, TBC Cowboy gets taken out by Panda. TCP Puma working that flamethrower. 30 seconds. The armor still hasn't moved. And they've just been swarmed over by an AT. There's a satchel charge. This is going to be a double. That armor has refused to move from being side by side with one another. 3, 2, 1. That's it. Game over. 2-minute mark has passed. The Germans will win. We're going to watch this double. What? How? This is console vanity. How did that recon tank survive that satchel charge right next to it? I have blown up heavies being next to each other. What? Oh, that's messed up. Sanchez, thank you for the GGs. So we will not see a to-the-wire finish on this warfare match. The Germans are indeed glorious in their victory. I will say the Allies had a chance. The Allies, I mean, as I called out earlier, the Allies having a lack of garrisons around was ultimately going to be their undoing. They managed to get, in order to prevent the cemetery from immediately being capped and losing their window, I mean, they did get some garrisons up, they did get some spawns up, but it was just not enough. The Germans, I believe, had the better gunfighters as a whole team. I mean, I saw some good names on the Allies, but ultimately the Germans had the better gunfighters and were just, I mean, there was nothing the Allies can ultimately do at the end of that. Oh, that's crazy. The TPC Phoenix crew for the Allies, 3 of them had over 1,000 combat scores, so you know the TPC crew ate there. But I believe the TPC crew on the other side also did incredibly well. But yeah, so it's just like, and also those tanks not pushing in, uh, pretty much was a wasted opportunity for the. Oh yeah, Cardinal had a 1100 combat score from all that work. And hell, that moves from Rage 1500 combat score. You did have some guys doing some serious work, but that ally tank crew had a push. When push comes to shove, if time's running out, you got to make a move. And if you're an armor, you just got to be that spearhead. You got to just get in there, just start dropping HE everywhere, and just hope for the best. Yeah, I did happy. We were commenting on it. I was sitting here, I was just like, oh man, I'm wondering who's got the worst headset. Alright, let's see. Let's see if this server is going to stay popped or not. Yep, staying at 70. Hopefully the access gets a few more players. And if you guys are watching and you want to play, feel free to jump in the Rage and help them stay populated. This will probably be the last match that we watch. And I'll post the... I watched the majority of it, Happy. I don't think I stayed until you moved or got killed. I can't remember what happened, but I'll send you the footage of what I did, Cap, or I'll post it and tag you. Man, nobody's just wanting to make squads. Come on, guys. Numbers are dwindling. I mean, it is late. If we could do one more match, we'll do one more match. But if the server ultimately starts to die out, it dies out. It is Thursday night after all. Oof, down to 25 on 27. Yeah. I think we're just going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's quickly dying off. All right. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for watching me tonight. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to Captain Insano. Shout out to the Rage Clan for inviting me today to stream their pub matches. As a reminder, tomorrow we are doing this again, but we are doing this for the Devil's Rejects server if they are populated. If they are not, we'll ultimately be probably streaming a tank match. Just keep a lookout for it. If it is the tank match, then it's going to be on the purple platform under my name. Oh, hell yeah. Well, then hopefully you guys will be populated tomorrow, and I will be sliding in to stream Friday Night Pubs for DVR. So shout out to Sanchez, shout out to Jared, shout out to Cameron, shout out to Corrupt, and shout out to Jared again tonight for the gifts. Shout out to the 28 new followers, guys. Welcome to the community. I appreciate all the support so much. I'll probably end up just playing, so if you see me out on the battlefield, we'll catch you guys out there. Otherwise, catch you guys on the flip side. We'll be back tomorrow morning in D-Day 24/7, streaming some of the offensive matches going on there. And then tomorrow night will be DVR. So I hope you guys have a very lovely Friday. We'll catch you on the flip side. LtYakko signing out.